Hey, hey. Right. Let's do this. Hey, folks. Just going to give it a minute or two. Sorry, I started a bit late. Right. Could you... Oh, yes, the chat box is working now. So, hey, Tom, Samantha, Suresh, Alexander, Steve, and Gary. Hey. Is that a fresh haircut? Yeah, it is. Well, it's actually bed hair, so... But, yeah. Right, what do we have? Okay, well, let's go. I think 12:02. Sorry for the slight delay. What we are going to do is set up a timer. And the timer will be for 10 minutes. Right. In fact, I'm going to reset this for the moment. And what we're going to talk about today is exactly what was in the title. So today we're going to be talking about, in fact, I need to remind myself, crypto, only going to do 10 minutes only. Then we're going to help out a new business owner who's about to launch his business, someone in the WAP. So looking forward to help there. I was supposed to do that last week, but then I sort of went off on one like I tend to do. And then talking about publicly admitting failure, struggles, and why it's so taboo, etc. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. So let the 10 minutes of crypto commence. Okay, well, long story short, everything I've been saying for the last week or two is happening. And crypto is done. 8 seconds. There we go. Shall we move on? Literally, just look at the last week or two of live sessions and everything is playing out as I mentioned. So that's really all I need to say about crypto. But for the people that haven't seen it, let's resume. So if we look at Bitcoin, scroll up to Bitcoin. Right, we've had this big old plop down. And everyone's panicking. Everyone's going, oh, it's the death cross, oh, the blah, blah, blah. As I mentioned in the previous video, don't worry about the death cross. It's a whole load of BS. It's just, you have to understand that there is a constant merry-go-round of FUD and bad news and stuff like that. Always. Even when, Bitcoin's rallying up to 60,000, etc. There's always a carousel of bad news. And when things dip, so when the price dips, what happens is idiot journalists who know nothing about crypto goes, it's because of Elon, or it's because of China, or whatever. And as the price is sinking even more, they're going to be looking at that carousel of bad news pumped out there and paid for by bigger entities, and they're just going to try and pin the donkey tail on whatever thing they can see. So I would ignore all of it. Seriously, the more that you listen to Twitter and YouTube, the more that you're going to lose money. If you had listened to Twitter and YouTube, you would have gone giga long back, a couple of weeks ago with leverage, and you'd be wrecked right now. So what is the timer? Okay, 8 minutes. So I'm going to keep this very succinct. This will be a short-lived dip. It's a short-lived dip. Mainly because all of the fundamentals, the metrics that I've talked about in previous videos. But just look at, I can show you one thing which has been pretty crazy. So if you look at the leveraged longs, okay, so these are all of the amount of people using leverage to go long on Bitcoin. So 47,000 Bitcoins worth of longs. That's a huge amount of money. And as I said last week, hey, look, a bit of a compression should squeeze to the downside. Well, that squeeze has popped to the downside, but it's been relatively insignificant. Okay, so when you look at the bigger picture, the amount of leveraged longs is roughly the same ish. But when you look at the shorts, god damn! So not only did we have the biggest amount of leveraged shorts in Bitcoin's history. Let's zoom out on the monthly chart here so we can check this out. Okay, only goes back to 2018. This is only on Bitfinex, by the way, which is where the majority of stuff are. Like, we've never seen so many, in terms of a percentage rise, not as in total Bitcoin shorted, because it has been higher, but in terms of one move up, it is massive. And so this is why I was saying last week that we should expect a dump, because when you look at the convergence, datamish.com, here we go. We zoom out to the 360 day. So this is the same stuff: leverage longs, leverage shorts, and this is the price. And what happened, I can't move the chart because it's a stupid line chart. We had a convergence of the shorts, as in the leverage shorts, getting closer to the leverage longs, and therefore that convergence, it was a massive bearish signal, which is what I was putting out on the Telegram, etc. However, we have now seen a massive drop off of these shorts. So what this means is that loads of people are taking profits. So they're closing their shorts and they're taking profits, which means there's a very, very little amount of short selling going on right now in Bitcoin. I mean, look at this. It's almost an all-time low. And combine that with the leverage longs, still high. In fact, is it all-time highs? Pretty much all-time highs, almost. I mean, even if it went down a little bit, it still doesn't matter. So, yeah, this is going to be short-lived. As well as, you look at all of the on-chain data, it's pretty bullish. Pretty bullish. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, what about this Head and Shoulders? Well, again, this is something I mentioned a few weeks back. I'm aware of it, but I think it's still a low probability outcome. Okay? So we had shoulder, head, shoulder. Now, put it this way. If this was Head and Shoulders, the neckline would be this. And Head and Shoulders is basically the distance from the neckline to the head plays out to the downside. So that's basically from 30k to 60k. So it's basically saying from 29,000, we should see a 30k drop down to zero. It's not going to happen. If anything, if this does play out, and I still think it's a low probability, it's going to bounce off 20k. That is literally the biggest level of support there is. I can't see that happening, barring a global stock market crash, because Bitcoin and the stock market is correlated at the moment. So yeah, and also when we're looking at this on the weekly chart, we've had this is overextended to the downside now. And when you look at the big move up here, this is the 50% pullback. And you should always expect a 50% pullback from an overextended move. So the market's overextended to the upside. It's had a 50% pullback to the downside. We need to see, or it's likely to see movement at least back up to 45 within a relatively short period of time, in my opinion. So yeah, it's just resting on the neckline. And also, this neckline is not being smothered. So if we were to draw this a bit more accurately, I'd say the neckline, something like this. It's being smashed into. Levels that are smashed into get bounced. Levels that are smothered get plopped through. So yeah. And then when you look at Ethereum, so we saw, as I mentioned over here, we've seen, I'm going to get rid of some of these drawings. So a lot of these are legacy drawings. Here we go. Little compressions here that I was talking about. But this was the compression. It got squeezed, and we're now hitting the baseline structure. And you can look at pretty much most things out there, and things are hitting the baseline structure. So, for example, in fact, Link is a great example. I've been talking about this compression for a while, and that compression was this: rising compression, falling market, textbook, and now base compression. And this is nice. I want to be positions are pretty much, how many left? A whole bunch of positions filled earlier today, which is great because I've been on the sidelines and I've been sidestepping. Okay, I've got 7 orders left to fill, which are my theta. So if we look at theta, where's my theta? T. Here we go. Sorry, I had to go through the alphabet in my head again. So my entry is at 621 down here. Again, this hasn't hit base structure yet, so I'm just getting a high prop target in there. We've got Monero. Ooh, that's getting close. 211. So that's almost getting filled. Again, big old bars. They're going to be pulled back, retraced. Kusama. Come on. Kusama's at 206, so it's almost there. Arve 221. Let's have a look. 22. Wow. Okay, this my Arve is going to be filled most likely in this session. And look at this. This is the Batman pattern that I talked about last week. It's playing out. Fat Batman, if anyone here remembers that from last week. Fat Batman's playing out, boys and girls. And then Link 17. Where's Link? Sorry, we're just on that. Link is 1786. So 1809. Okay, hopefully we'll get filled. Ideally, I want to get filled on this big old red bar. You want to get filled on a big red bar and out on a big green bar. And then ADA, not there yet. Come on. Where is ADA? Here we go. 121 is my re-entry. And it's at 126. So fingers crossed, I get filled and I'm completely back in cryptos by the end of this session. All morning, entry orders have just been triggering in, which is quite nice. 29. So my re-entry is 281 on this one. Yeah. And it's good. And for example, a good example of these side steps. So I'm just going to pause the time because I'm not really talking about the update. I'm just talking about my portfolio at the moment. So with side steps, it's not all about getting the bottom. You're not trying to bottom pick. Bottom picking in trading and in the real world is not a good habit to do. You don't like picking a bum is not good. And same on the markets. And so all you're doing with side steps is getting out on low risk, high probability outcome drops. And then once it drops, you get back in on a high probability re-entry. That's what we're doing. So for example, if you're looking at gas over here, I got out, look, again, it busted through here. We hit base structure of this compression. Again, if you can see, it was a rising compression, falling market, hit the base structure. It's actually gone past it. And so I've been out of gas for a while, but I got back in today. And so I've ended up with an extra 625 gas for no extra money injected. So just free tokens. And if I'm correct, and gas against Bitcoin gets up to say 0.04, up to this level here, that's an insane trade. So just that 626 extra free gas that got for free, times that by 0.0. No, so that's not my target. 0.04. 0.04 is my target up here. 0.04. That's an extra 2.5 Bitcoin I've got for free. And this will happen, folks. This is my big old punt getting into gas, getting out roughly. Ideally, I'd like to get back out around 007 area, but I think I'll reassess around 004 because then it's going to be a mega sort of 40x trade for me with this gas position. Anyway, so got back in gas. So I'm half in because some of the ones that aren't in yet, like some of my chunkier plays like ADA. My dot got filled earlier today. Polkadot, I'm back in again. Beautiful candle. Whoa, that is gorgeous. So, goddamn! I just looked at the chat box. The amount of scammers here in the thread. By the way, I'll never ask you to send me Bitcoin and I'll give you Bitcoin in return. They're scammers. Only scammers do that. You can join the Realistic Trader and pay me Bitcoin, but I'm not oh my God. Right, add to block list. Block user on Facebook. Block and restream. Okay. Cheers, Aaron, for the heads up. Bloody scammers. So let's reset that timer. 50 seconds left. There's going to be an insane amount of fear, uncertainty, deceit, just FUD in general and bad news on crypto. Ignore it. This is going to be short term. short term, I want to get in, and and if you want comfort, I mean, just look at the leverage shorts. No one's shorting crypto anymore on leverage, or not that many compared to what it was. So I think that's it. I'll go through the questions later, okay? Because I want to sort of get through all of the content for today, and then I'll sort of go through. I'll come back to the crypto questions, if that makes sense. Oh, wow, there's 140 of you here. Oh, hey, folks. That's pretty cool. And there is the timer. There you go, Steve, Woody. 10 minutes in your face. Actually, I cheated. I paused it, didn't I? So, yeah, you actually win. So, right, let's get rid of that. So, as you all know, and this is an unashamed plug, this is the Wealth Action Plan. So the WAP is a map to get you from where you are now to where you want to be. And as it says here, it's basically a Netflix for business, money, investing, life, and being awesome. And if you want to be awesome at business and money, etc., you need a whole set of skills. And like 10 years ago, I literally mapped out a whole bunch of skills I needed to acquire to get good at stuff. And I've slowly acquired them over the last 10 years. And they're everything from, business ideas, business models, how to execute stuff, marketing, online, offline, legal stuff, money, investing, trading, crypto, basics of property, people, M&A. There's all that sort of stuff. And it's all here on the WAP. But the thing, what was I going to talk about? So the key, I guess, thread with the WAP is that we help people set up a business from scratch. And if you go to the intro videos, last year, you'll see we set ourselves a challenge to set up a brand new business from scratch that in a sector we've never done before. In fact, it's slightly more than a year ago. And we documented every single step of the way. And if you scroll right to the bottom of the free videos, it's here, WAP experiment. And everything we did that we teach in the WAP, we applied. And we properly went through everything. So you can see all the costings, the marketing, setting it all up, etc. And we hit our targets: £300 a month profit by within 3 months, and the £3,000 profit within the first year. And we nailed it. And this is exactly what we did here. Now, going on to the next thing I said. Kevin, just saw your comment. The WAP is fab. So much quality info. Thank you, Kevin. Much appreciated. Whenever I see WAPers, as in people in the Facebook group, as in my WAPers, actually implementing shit and doing stuff, it really fills me with joy. It really does. It's like the best feeling out there. More spammers. And so I love helping my WAPers. So, me WAPers. And so today we're going to talk about Tom Smith. So, Tom, again, my hat's off to you. Anyone that sets up a business has my untold respect, because setting up a business is tough. It's just horrendously tough. And you're going to experience all sorts of heartache. And so it's one hell of a learning journey. And you shouldn't expect your first business to do well. And the problem with business is not how you do it, it's how you... Well, no, it is how you do it. It's not... What's the saying? Is it Bananarama? It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Whatever that saying is. And business is the same thing. You could have a big old checklist of stuff to do. In fact, if we actually go onto the portal. Yeah, the homepage, by the way, looks a bit different to the actual portal. We've had to... Oopsie. Yeah, it looks a lot better in the actual portal. On the homepage, we've had to squeeze it all up to make it... Yeah, that's what it doesn't look like in the portal. So here is the portal. And guess what? There is a checklist. I need to log in. Stand by. Come on. Remember me. There we go. I hate maths. Okay, what is that? 2 divided by 7 or 2 plus 7? I'm hoping it's plus. I can't work out 2 divided by 7. I can't get into my own freaking portal. Or I got the question wrong. There I'm in. Okay, so if we go to extra. I just have to remind myself. Okay, so biz setup checklist. I've literally mapped out everything you need to do in the correct order, and not only that, I've talked about every single checklist thing. So there's a whole bunch of things here. 1 second, I'll get that checklist for you. Extra resources. Let's open it up. Checklist. In fact, is it on my desktop? That'll probably be easier. Yeah, it is. Sorry, I've got the PDF over here. And this is what it is. So you have all sorts of pre-proof of concept, etc., all the way to post-POC, which is post-proof of concept. And you do things bit by bit. Now, here is the thing. Here is the caveat. You can set up a brand new idea or a new business, etc., doing and literally ticking your bit by bit through this document, and you could still end up with a business that doesn't do anything, or a business that just doesn't work, or etc. Because it's how you do stuff. So take Facebook marketing. Most people say, "Oh, Facebook marketing doesn't work." Well, it's because they haven't done it properly. It does work. I mean, it really does. And so that's my caveat here. So Tom, everything I'm about to say, I'm going to say with obviously from love, because constructive feedback is the thing that everyone needs in business and in life, full stop. And trading is very similar to business. This is why I love business, because it's very similar to trading. With trading, the better you are at disconnecting your emotions from the markets, the more money you'll make. And the better you are of disconnecting your emotions in the world of business, the more money you'll make. And I'm very unemotional. I can't remember the last time I got in a heated argument. It's just not me. And so, yeah. So whatever advice or, tidbits I'm going to share, obviously, please treat it as constructive feedback. By the way, sounds like I'm setting this up for an absolute rinsing. I'm not. I haven't looked at the websites yet. But let's just go through this bit by bit. And even if you're an existing business owner or whatever, I'm sure you'll be able to pick up some sort of nuggets from this. Right, let's do this. Follow up from last week when you suggested some awesome ideas regarding trialing my subscription business. Okay, so one thing is that he's picked up on my hint that doing a subscription-based business is a wise thing to do. So good, and you're actually doing this, and so he's gone out and built his landing pages, or landing page and also homepage. I'll click that in a bit. So I created a website and landing page. I purchased £20 of stock to enable me to take some images. Spot on. Good man. For the website and for adverts. Good. You need good pictures, especially if it looks like you're selling something physical. I'm running Facebook ads to my landing page. Cool. I'm offering 50% discount on the first month to entice new customers. Cool. Maybe. It depends how you do that. 2 people have signed up for the email list to get the discount code, although nobody has bought the subscription yet. Yeah, okay, your data set is too small. Yeah, you can't decipher anything from a data set to 2. I've had one person people comment on the advert saying the price is a bit steep and they can get the product cheaper from their gym. I responded by saying this is delivered straight to your door. It's a valid objection there, mate. We'll come on to that. Another person commented, is the discount code one-off or for every month? Okay, so that's just a messaging thing. I responded with yes, but is one-off, but hoping to introduce discount if people sign up to multiple months. Okay. Pricing is tricky as I'm probably £5 per month more expensive than my closest competitor. Okay, that is an issue. Obviously, as you scale, you have economies of scale, so things will get cheaper for you. But obviously, that doesn't help you right now. I've allowed in my pricing to further download third party. If I can get customers bulk buying. Oh yeah, you just said So I just said, it is a bit of a side hustle, so I'm not currently dependent on the money for living costs. Would you reduce your price to the same as a competitor or stick it out and keep the current prices for now? Margins would probably be a bit tight, but it'd still make money each month. How much profit would you be wanting to make on a £20 to £25 per month subscription product, etc.? Okay, so there's a lot of questions there. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to go all over the place here. I'm trying to do it in what I think is a logical order. So let's talk about the pricing at the moment. So obviously, if you have an online thing, your gross margin is going to be really high. Whereas a physical thing is going to be pretty, it's going to eat into your margins because you actually have to go out and buy the stock. Now, there is no set thing, there's no set level of what profit you should make, but I really wouldn't go too low. Like, one tip is to never engage in a low margin business. I cannot stress the pain, suffer, sorrow, and torment you will endure getting into a low margin business. And I did the lowest margin business on the planet, which is a gold and silver bullion dealer. I had a 1.4 net profit margin business. So if you make any hiccups, any errors in your business, it's game over. I made a tax hiccup back in the day, and I had I didn't have enough money in the account to cover my VAT, and I was 20 grand short. And it took me 18 months to recover from that. 18 months to recover from a 20k shortfall. Horrendous. And so really, from something like a sort of £20-25 per month box, you don't want to be making less than £10 profit per month per client. Oh, no more less than... Yeah, it depends how easy it is to get your customers. So 5 to 10 quid minimum, really. So that's that one. To begin with, you need a user base. You need at least a couple hundred people in your business. So whenever I set up a new business, I always have really stupidly cheap prices, even if it's at cost and real cost, not like so at cost basically. So you're not losing money as you're growing, because if you can grow at cost. So let's say to deliver all of the stuff, it costs you 10 quid in stock or whatever, and you can sell it for 10 quid, and so you're literally not losing anything, or sell it for 11 quid. If you can then grow fast whilst breaking even, then it's a case of just swelling up your numbers, and then all you need to do is increment the prices up 50p a month, or something like that, and then you'll see profits down the line. Or you could just keep it at cost and just swell the numbers, and then your whole business is about being bought out by someone that wants your database. So that's another play. So right now you need to address this price thing. So let's have before I go into the website, discount code. Yeah, so the code thing, the 50% off is a different. It's a tricky one. It's good for like a trial, but not good for... Yeah, so first month off to entice new customers, that's good. But you got to be careful. You got to be very clear that your first month is, or your first 2 months is X amount, but then moving forward it's more. And your positioning or your messaging has to be clear on that. So without further ado, let's go to your homepage first. Righty tighty. So now all we're going through is simple CRO, conversion rate optimization. So this website uses cookies. Yeah, okay, everyone just clicks it. Yeah, fine. So straight away I know what it is. Find your perfect vegan protein bar subscription. Cool. In my opinion, it's a bit big because look, the box is being cut out here. And is it a responsive website? So if I was to zoom this into, say, an iPad type thing, all of a sudden you've got huge amounts of empty space here. Okay, so it did load on the scroll, but it's not... again, looks like a lady having a poo. Sorry. What about mobile phone? So if we squeeze this to mobile phone, what does that look like? Better. However, look, your subscriptee on box, yeah, you've got to be careful of that. Again, this question mark is on another line. You've got to be really anal about every device that you build it for. And look at all of this. So that picture and all of this white space is wasted. So this is why you're not getting any responses. So you are ticking the check boxes. So you're doing exactly the right thing. You set up a brand new business. You set up landing pages and homepage. Like, you're doing it all, which is great. And all we're doing now is CRO, just to fine tune it, because I promise you now, you're going to be wasting money on adverts right now. I know this is not your landing page, but even on your homepage. get rid of this straight away. This is like so 1990s. No one gives a shit about a newsletter. And I know this with hard data, hard facts from across multiple businesses. Just get rid of it. No one cares. The contact us. How do I contact you? It says contact us, but do I have to press this? See, this is so if you create any forms of slight indecision on your website, it hurts conversions. So the first thing I did was try to click the phone, but then there's a little button here that I have to press. So that's one thing. Text message. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So that's that. Let's go back to the desktop. Okay. So first of all, it's a subscription boxing. So actually have a picture of the box instead of a squatting lady. Have a picture of the box with all the the vegan bars in the box, and so people know what to expect when it lands on the door. Does it come in like a brown paper bag or a nice box? So you need a picture of that. This is completely irrelevant. Like straight. I know protein bars and stuff, is associated with fitness, etc. This is nothing. It's waste of space. You also need a video, just a little unboxing video, if anything. This to me looks like grey writing. Never, ever, ever have grey writing on a website. Like this needs to be just pure black. And if it is, it's probably because the font is too thin. That's probably why it looks a bit black. And again, loads of empty white space here. So that's that. I'll talk about edits in a second. Let's look at the boxes. The boxes, cool. Okay, right. Huge empty waste of space. Remember, it's something stupid like 40% of people don't scroll below the fold, and the fold is everything that loads below the screen. So people click this, they'll click around, they'll click, lovely. So people will click that and go, this website doesn't work, and they'll just click off. They'll just click off and they'll bugger off, and you're losing conversions. Again, I need videos, I need pictures of the boxes, I need, and the way you've put this out isn't conducive to conversions because it's just a whole bunch of writing. So first of all, a picture or an opening, a little video of a box, or even if it's a GIF, that you can get rid of a whole bunch of these words with pictures and videos. Variety is the spice of 8. Okay, so the first thing my brain does, now I'm a bit different. I go 25 quid divided by 8. What is that? 24.99, divide that by 8. £3.12 a bar. That is a bit steep, mate, to be fair. Now, I'm aware, that's a bit rich coming from me. Like, if you go to the Realistic Trader and on the Realistic Trader community and scroll down, like, to join my community, it's either basically 500 quid a month, which is £6,000 over a year, or if you pay up front, it's 4,800. Now, I'm fully aware that lots of people out there going, bloody hell, that's steep, charging £5,000 a year for access to this. But we give shitloads of value. Not only that, I mean, hell, if you'd follow my bloody trade alerts in Telegram recently, you would have made a lot more of that in crypto from copying the moves. Anyway, so price and value are two different things. So we have the value there. Now, the value proposition with this is I get 8 bars for £3 something. And so that is a hurdle you need to consider. Maybe I'm not your target market. I am interested in vegan protein bars, but not at £3 a bar. And I'm relatively well off. So the bars look nice. They do. But are they £3 nice? Yeah, they look really good. So it's a tough one because I don't know how much it's costing you to buy these bars. Right, 8 carefully. Okay, macro list will be free orders shipped in 7 2 to 4 working days. Okay, yeah. I guess what is the UPB. What is the unique perceived benefit here? Like, what is it like at the moment? All it's, I guess the value here is that I don't have to go to the shops and buy these vegan bars, because I could go to Tesco Express down the road and buy some vegan protein bars, etc. They will be cheaper, but yeah, it's saving the hassle of going out there. But also, what is maybe talk about the health benefits perhaps. I just quickly so Gary says I can't click your link. Hugh, for some reason I can't click your link, mate. But yeah, Gary has just put a link in. Can I click the link? No, I can't. How odd. Apparently Huel sells vegan stuff, so let's have a quick look at, because that's your competitor basically. Vegan bars, Huel vegan bars. Here we go. Huel bars. Let's have a look. So Huel, obviously they have a good name already from doing stuff like this. So they've got a box selection. I don't know if it's, yeah. So obviously they're doing, so you can subscribe actually. So every 6 weeks. Wait a minute. I'm just curious how every month. So it's 8 bars a month. If let's do this every 4 weeks. So for here, obviously it's more expensive, but look at this. It's £1.30 a bar. So it's 36 bars you're getting. So straight away, this is your biggest competitor, mate. So at the minimum, I would, I don't know what your margins are like. I would match that because they've got the brand and they've got the money behind it. But even still, I wouldn't say this is the best landing page ever. It's still confusing. In fact, I can see it. It's good. I can see the box that it comes in, so that's good. Free shirt, yeah, whatever. But I can see the box. The pictures are good, but it's confusing the hell out of me. And and people don't want to think. People only have a set amount of brain glucose per day, and me having to try and work this out is draining my glucose. I can feel it sapping away. Because I want to subscribe, but what am I getting? Am I getting these? Do I have to add them? So if I click one box, there's 18 bars. How much is that going to cost me? Okay, I need 2 boxes. So, okay, I guess I can choose the white chocolate and the chocolate. There we go. Okay, subscribe every week. Yeah. So, yeah, this is better. So this is how you need to basically lay out the benefits, really. So in every bar, you get blah, 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 blah. Phytonutrients. I don't know what that means. And they haven't even explained what a phytonutrient is. Because I am an idiot. And, you need to explain everything to an idiot. But yeah, okay. So the top of the page here, I'm not impressed with. This is too confusing. Too many options confuses a customer. But when you scroll down, much better. This is good. This is good. This is good. Happy smiling face. Remember, with Ciara, it's in the WAP course in the web bit. Happy smiling faces sells stuff. Happy smiling females, attractive females sell more stuff. It's fickle, but it's true. They haven't spaced this out correctly. I would at the very least, bold the beginnings of these things, or at least have a little arrow for each one. Yeah, that's cool. Good pictures. So the rest of the page is really good here for Huel. So this is who you're competing against, mate. So as you can see here, there's not much info that I can quickly decipher, if that makes sense. So that's the home page. What about the landing page? Yep, so I've talked about okay. We've got a video. Is there sound? Wait a minute. Is my sound on? Okay, I've got sound. I think you have a soundless video, which, if you look to the stats, which Vimeo will show you, I'm pretty sure your engagement rate on that video is going to look like this. So it's going to be like, wee. Oh, no, it doesn't go up. It'll literally just go down like this. So yeah, one because of the positioning of where this video is. So if I reload the page, Control F5. So one, a lot of people won't even scroll down. Two, they'll click this, and some may not even notice this play button, and it looks a bit grainy, so people are, and they'll keep on scrolling. So you get a lot of people not even watch it, and those that do watch it, they'll go through the same thing I did. Is there sound? Yes, there's sound, and it gets a bit boring. So you can spice that up. I use with some of the videos, I use Vidnami as a result of that Pete Bennett interview I did. It's really cool. You literally can type in your whatever you want, and it turns it into a more engaging video. So if you go to Vidnami, access expired. It's because I didn't sign up for it. Nah, okay. But if I go to D drive, no, P drive, Vidnami, are there any Vidnami things here? Vid, no, RT admin, Vidnami. Sorry, I'm just going through my mess of a desktop here. No, can't find it. But yeah, all you do is you basically type in the text, which is what you've got here, and then it will go out and put music to it and video stock footage, etc. It was pretty cool. And again, this video needs to be above the fold. So put the video here in the left, put your headline on the right, and you need buy buttons above the fold. Yeah. And so I know what you're doing here. So here's a good example. I'm doing a campaign right now for Float Norwich, and it's selling like hotcakes. Summer cryo. So look what I'm doing here. Now, if we just go into a random, I'm logged into the WordPress here, so let's just go to a private window. So I'm driving an advert. So first of all, let's get rid of the cookie thingy. I'm driving adverts to this, and straight away you can see there's two, like there's no thinking involved of what this is. This is 2 cryotherapy sessions for 40 quid. Sessions are usually 35 quid each, but you can now book 2 for just 40. So straight away they can see there is a saving there. In fact, it's a massive saving. If I was to be even better, I would probably put in brackets under this video, how much they're saving. So that's a little edit for me. I know there's a video, it's a bit shit. It's only, 11 seconds long, but they can see what a cryotherapy pod is straight away. Guess what? Happy, attractive, smiley face. And, if they were to scroll, the mouse may just, if they weren't sure that this was a button, when they hover over it, they know it is. And then it goes into, 35 quid each, London sessions. So I'm positioning, the price here. London sessions are 50 to 80 quid. These are basically 20 quid each for this offer. Some of the benefits, there is a deadline. You need a deadline. So this package expires on the 30th of June, so 9 days' time. Some videos, not mine. These are stuff from YouTube. Dr. Berg has a really good video. Some people, Dr. Berg is actually more famous in the States. Yeah, and as you keep scrolling, it's a lot cleaner. If you can see this landing page, it's just a lot cleaner than your one. And so, guess what? The conversion rate on this is just really, really good at the moment. At the moment, I don't want to jinx it. Again, My Fairy Pen Pal, when we looked at, was it 8-week trial new? No, it wouldn't have been that. No. 8-week trial. This is another page that sold like wildfire. So here we go. Video, top left. So we got, like a good old video. Let's see if it plays. From then on, they'll get fortnightly letters from their fairy. Yeah. So this video is only like a minute long. With a personalized letter, a coloring card, fairy dust recipe, and a fairy door. So they can see what they're getting straight away with the headline. they can see again what they're getting. That's just $3.74 a fortnight, so it's very cheap. And also, we've got another video here in the bottom of Ellie, my wife, basically. Mother, father, another delivery at the door. I'm just going to ignore it. I'm not expecting anything. Oh, other than my robot lawnmower. I'll just put it in the garage.
Thank you so much for clicking on our page. I just wanted to show you a really...
So straight away, they can see that this is the owner of My Fairy Pen Pal. You know, it's a real person. It's not a faceless corporation. And that she's showing you the office.
This is the Fairy Post Office. And this is
yada, yada, yada. And then
their pen pals. So if you would like a fairy pen pal, and this is a pile of fairy gifts, which is where...
So they can see what they're getting straight away. There's no ambiguity, and we're trying to lead them. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like it side by side. I prefer it down, like in one. Maybe if we made this. Oh yeah, I guess on a tablet or an iPhone, it's one by one. Yeah, I prefer it like this. So people, you're basically leading people straight. You know, step 1, click the Find Your Fairy button. Step 2, blah blah blah. So please feel free to just copy the shit out of this landing page, literally, or feel free to. Oh yeah, we've got an exit pop as well. So as soon as your mouse leaves the browser, we've got an exit pop. I originally thought it was like a fairy dying there, but obviously it's not. So yeah, or copy the float page. Simple. Sometimes a simple, or maybe even an ugly page converts well, but it's just a lot fresher, if that makes sense. So just be aware of the elements. So if we look at this on the iPad, yeah, it's still the same thing ish. So that's that. Now I know that we did this Float Norwich, but I think you should do a trial. So, you know, for 2 months, a 2-month trial, and it'll be some sort of cheaper price. I don't know what your costs are. So let's just say your cost per bar is, I don't know, £1.50. Let's get rid of this. So I'm just going to do some rough numbers here. So it's probably cheaper. I can't imagine you're paying £1.50 for these bars. Let's say it's £1. So your cost is £1 a bar. If you're going to be charging, I don't know, let's say you're going to charge 20, I don't know. It's tough. Let's say 25 quid. Let's go with what you've gone for. I'm pretty sure people will want to be seeing. Yeah, you should be trying to get around sort of between £1 to £1.50 a bar, because then that's sort of reasonable-ish, but not £3. I think £3 is a bit steep. And so if you were to do £1.50 a bar divided by 150, you're going to be giving out 16.6, maybe 17. You could give away 17 bars. So it's going to cost you 17 quid in costs, plus the box and shipping and packaging and all that sort of stuff. It's probably another 3 quid. So that's 20 quid there. So you're left with 5 quid profit. That's for the... it's hard. You're going to have to play with numbers. I remember with My Fairy Pen Pal, we did so many iterations that didn't work. Originally, I think I did something like £45 for a 3-month trial. That didn't work. Then I did that for like a 2-month trial. Didn't work. And then I realized, it's the price that was the sticking point here. Then I just changed it to 15 quid for a 2-month trial. And it sold like wildfire. So, yeah. There. So you just have to keep. First of all, you need to CRO your landing pages. So conversion rate optimization, as in change your landing pages. That will help. And then you got to play around with, you know, the offer. At the moment, the offer is not appealing. And also, I don't know where to buy it. So this is the landing page. So I've clicked on the advert. I'm here. Okay, I'm going to scroll. And okay, the boxes, they're not that. I guess they're clear. Yeah, they are. Just change color. Have them bright orange. But there's 2 call to actions here, which is confusing. So do I want to click the boxes or do I want to send this? Like, there's too many things. It's you just need to get them to do one thing, and the one thing is to buy this. And again, it shouldn't go onto another page. All this should be on the same landing page. So hopefully that makes sense for now. They're my thoughts, and please do execute them. And again, my hat is off to you, sir, for actually getting off your ass and doing something. Most people that do online courses or programs and stuff, they do nothing. And if you do nothing, you'll never, ever, ever, ever get results. So nice one, mate. Right, let's go through the chat box first, and then we'll go into the last topic. The last topic is more of a discussion than anything. So I just want to go through some of the questions. So, no doubt there's some crypto questions. Red Hat Geek says, can you explain what a leveraged short is? Yeah, so in essence, a levered short or a leveraged short is someone that is borrowing money to short the market, I guess. So it's a bit like so it's all on Bitfinex. So it's like going to Bitfinex, putting £1,000 into your account, and then they giving you leverage of, I don't know, 100 to 1. I don't know if they do that much leverage. Let's say it's 20 to 1. So now, instead of $1,000 or £1,000 worth of purchasing power, you've now got £20,000 of purchasing power. And a levered short is people, using that, say, £20,000 of purchasing power to short the market and hope it and try and force it down. So that's what a leveraged short is, or a levered short. I prefer the word levered because that's what it is. Leveraged short, same thing, I guess. Sure. Suresh, do you ever use Fibonacci on the Bitcoin chart? I don't use Fib. I use the 50% rule, which is part of Fib. The thing is, with trading, you can get too into indicators. Like, you can really get lost in indicators, and it just obscures everything. I mean, I could draw all sorts of fibs and stuff in here, but at the end of the day, it's just gonna mess things out. But yeah, just always be aware. Overextended markets do a 50% pullback typically. JB, when I first came across you, start of last year, you weren't friends with crypto and was trading forex. What got you back into crypto? Okay, so this is just a lack of context. So I am in the game of wealth generation. And in the game of wealth generation, you have the whole world of assets at your disposal, whether it be business, trading, crypto, whatever. And you have to be anal about ROTE and ROKI. So return on time invested and return on capital invested. And so I was in the 2017 run-up with crypto. And made lovely profits. And then we entered the bear market. And so I exited because there's no point, because I see the return on time invested was a waste of time. So I got out, reallocated my money to other businesses mainly. And then when I saw that the market was going to start firing again, then I got back in. But I was also aware of fake outs. So I remember everyone in mid 2019 go, hey, this is it. This is the rally. This is not. And I was like, no. This is going to come back down. This is a fake out. This is a trap. And guess what happened? It came back down. And so I looked for low risk, high probability outcome moves. And so this is why I got back in sort of the first part in summer 2020. In fact, it was probably around late summer when I saw this starting to break this bit. I thought, okay, here we go. And then I put the bulk of my stuff in January. So yeah, I'm back in it. Well, and then as the market's been falling, I've got out of crypto completely, and I've been sidestepping in and out. So yeah, I'm an investor. I'm not, a diehard crypto, if that makes sense. Although I am a diehard crypto. Right. Thanks everyone that said that the WAP is great. Much appreciated. Aaron, I actually use the WAP for a couple of my businesses. I also used to do real estate trader 5 years ago. Nice. Aaron, you are a ledge. So, Rachel said, in my honest opinion, I don't think this business will work because you can buy all these bars from the supermarket and most people will pick them up with the rest of their shopping. Yeah, that's one of the major hurdles you need to get around. But don't let that dishearten you, because you can, with all these subscription type things, you can do that with anything, really. I mean, there's subscription socks, subscription everything, and you can do that So it's all about that unique perceived benefit. What are you getting which is different? And in your boots, yes, it's convenient, but you also got to compete on the price. There is a great book called "Don't Make Me Think" by Steve Krug. Recommend it. Cool, nice one, Steve. Johnny Peters, any thoughts about keywords, keyword search tools, and analysis of words which are good for this with backlinks? So I'm not an SEO person. Unfortunately, I'm not going to talk about it because it's not part of my skill set. So I always get other people to do SEO. But I guess including the words vegan and bars or box, I mean, you've already done that in your URL, Tom. So I guess you're halfway there. But Dread Daily, he's got a business launch, Plant Bells. We'd love you to critique it. I will if you're part of the WAP. Put it in the WAP group. I tend to pick up stuff in the WAP group, mate. So, Facebook user, hey Siam Kid, any tips on dealing with currency fluctuations when trying to sell before importing a product? Oh, okay, yeah. So that's a toughie. It's a great question. Currency fluctuations when trying to sell before importing a product. Yeah, that is a tricky one, I'm afraid. And I had this when I was a gold and silver dealer because I would have to buy shitloads of stock. But then if the price of gold and silver went down, like lower than I bought for, I'd then be screwed. And this is another reason why trading helped me, because I had to continually trade the gold and silver markets to hedge my bets, which wasn't ideal. And it was an accounting nightmare. So I don't have a good answer for you other than buying in bulk. And then if possible, adding something of extra value which doesn't cost stock. So can you bolt on your physical things that you're selling with something else to sort of bump up the price a bit? So at the very least, you're not losing money on any transactions if there are currency fluctuations or price fluctuations. So yeah, that's a tough one, especially if you're dealing with places like Venezuela or anywhere with an unstable currency. So yeah, it's a toughie. Personally, I just don't like the whole importing type businesses. And as you can see with 2020 and the Evergreen Canal blockage and all that sort of stuff, there's just too many third-party counter risks. Like I've got a friend who, I'm not going to say his name or what he does, but he sells very expensive machinery, and because of this machinery is being in huge demand at the moment, he's being absolutely screwed. So, for example, there's like I'm gonna make up some numbers just so you get the point. But he's dealing in six figures. So a customer will come along and say, "Hey, I want to buy 100 grand's worth of this of these machines," and he goes, "Yep, sure, 100 grand. You'll get X amount of machines. I don't know, 5 machines for this." And then he goes and places the order in China where they're made. But because there's huge demand, China then goes, "Oh, sorry, your 100 grand doesn't get you 5 machines anymore. We're gonna send you 2 or 3." And he can't do anything about it. So he's then having to go to the customer and go, "I know you paid me 100 grand for 5 machines, but my supplier screwed me over, and I can only give you 3 machines for the same money. Would you still like to go ahead with the deal?" I mean, like, how tough is that? And apparently, people are rocking up to the factories in China with bags of cash to make sure they're head of the production list. So yeah, it's just nuts. Gary says Hugh will give a free t-shirt and a shake bottle for the first order of protein shake over 50 quid. Perceived value about 30 quid. Yeah, makes sense. Good way of staying away from discount and not undervaluing the main product. Also give £10 discount to introduce new people. Yeah, standard stuff. Nice. Stuart said, you mentioned last week about putting ETH across to DOT as it is undervalued compared to ETH. Is this still the case? Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a longer term trade, this. But if you look at DOT against Ether, how undervalued it is. It's just ridiculous. So this will take a long time to get over here. I would say probably by the end of the year, maybe. So, or maybe a bit longer, but it's still a great trade against Ether. So, Peter, how do you deal with stress by having so many different businesses? Well, it's an up and down thing, really, because when things are going well, they're going great. And I'll talk about this later in a bit, because I put out a controversial Facebook post out last week saying, or like every domino I have is falling over right now. It's an absolute shit show right now, business wise, on my end. But the thing is, I always make a big point of sharing all my losers, but I very rarely share my winners. Like, you'll never see me. In fact, you didn't see me, and you won't see me posting on Facebook saying, "Hey, everyone, look at all my businesses. I'm making 150 grand a month." You didn't hear me say that, did you? And it's it's funny. Like, I see some of my family going, like the other day, I think a few weeks ago, there was a big dip in crypto, and like on paper, my crypto portfolio dropped £130,000, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And I hear, back talking in the family, going, "Did you hear about Siam? He lost £130,000. What an idiot!" But like, there's so much context they don't make. What they completely are like they don't know how much money I've made up until that point. So yeah, this is why context is really, really important. But I prefer to share my losers. But going back to the stress element, when you take the emotions out of everything, you just have less stress. So I'm actually a very grateful person. I'm grateful for so many things, even the simple stuff: hot water, food, shelter. I'm still very, precious and thankful for it all. So at the end of the day, as long as you've got shelter for your family, which I don't, and food and warmth, etc., then you've got nothing to stress about, really, because that is you're still richer than many, every human being in Earth's history, for pretty much. So, and then I treat everything like a computer game. I'm a gamer, and so when stuff gets hard, I just like, oh, okay, this is like the boss level, and I just keep on losing and I'll just keep on doing it until I win. So that's how I deal with the stress. It's just all a big game. Life is a big game. I treat it like such, which is why I don't take myself that seriously. Yeah. Ken, what are you thinking about XRP at the moment? Sorry if you've gone over XRP. I don't care about XRP. It's a shitcoin, in my opinion. I have had a little. In fact, do I even own it? Probably got I probably got $1,000 worth of it. Let's have a look. I'm just not a fan of it. Yeah, I've got 943 Ripple, so it's like nothing. Yeah, I'm not going to go into it. Just that's for another time. But I'm just not a fan of Ripple. Too much controversy. People also pay for food, cooking kit subscription services, and they can buy that in the supermarket as well. Yeah, I completely agree. So you need that UPB, that unique perceived benefit. Facebook users also said, "I'm trying to get orders before selling, but can't change price once I've accepted order. Ideally." It's Raymond. Not sure why it says Facebook. Oh yeah. Oh, hey Ray. Trying to get orders before selling. Yeah, so it's how you. So if you're going to do something like a 50% discount thing, the whole campaign needs to be not selling your subscription, but it needs to be selling the discount. So if you open up, let's get Paint out again. You have to, the whole Facebook campaign or marketing or let's just put eyeballs, whatever ads you're doing, it has to be the one call to action is to basically grab the discount. And then you basically get as many people on your waiting list for this discount. So it's like, hey, we've got this awesome new thing. It's coming. Get on on this list so you get this 50% discount. Make sure there's a deadline, etc., etc. You then fill out that list, and then over time, once you're ready, then you do another campaign. In fact, then you do another campaign to that list. And that the campaign, and that will be an email campaign, by the way, and also a Facebook retargeting campaign. And then it's like, hey, we're open, buy now, and then you'll have a percentage, X amount of it. That's what I did with Float Norwich. I basically did a marketing campaign. I got 5,000 people to sign up for a 50% discount list, and then of those 5,000 people, I can't forget how many converted, but it generated 25K's worth of sales in 5 days, which is pretty cool. I think 1,000 people. I think 1,025 quid. Yeah, 1,000 people. So 20% conversion, which is pretty cool. So it's all about call to action. You must not on a landing page try and promote a discount and also promote like a box, because they see it as two separate things. You either make them all as one thing, as the trial period is cheaper, but don't do like a discount list and something else. Jeff, hi Sam. If you were to do the dot ether trade, would you buy dot? What would you buy dot with? Ether, GBP, Bitcoin. I wouldn't actually worry too much, because you could look at dot against Ether, dot against GBP and Bitcoin, and they're all going to show slightly different things, but you still got to get your money into the exchange somehow. I wouldn't worry too much. It's going to be negligible difference. You're talking tens of pounds of difference, so it's barely anything. So that's that. Right. I want to go on to the next thing. And the next thing is is more of a discussion, really. I want to open up a bit. Talking about publicly admitting failure/struggles and why it's so taboo. So for those who are not familiar with what happened, well, it's not really an event, nothing happened. I put out a Facebook status last week. And that status was this one, 18th of June. Yeah. So I'm basically saying everything is an absolute shit show my end at the moment. I've got one business that's bleeding 30 grand a month. I've got another business that's just flatlined, another business, blah, blah, blah. And basically every business is stalled and or losing money to a degree. I'm just, wow, what is this picture? Oh my God, that was a lot. 2009, yeah, that's a different Siam altogether. God, that was a long time ago. So probably not the best picture to have. Anyway, so yeah, and there's loads of comments. So by the way, everyone that commented, thank you for whoever did comment. I got some really obviously some of the comments were they just had no context. So yeah, as I said, context is a killer. I've just got a rule with things, is that I just never talk about things without context, just because you don't know what you don't know, etc., etc. So, and I guess a lot of people said, "Oh, why are you running too many businesses, etc." Well, when times are good, it's great. As I said, there was a period where we were making, as a whole group, 150 grand a month profit. That's not revenue; it's profit. So it's great. And a lot of these businesses that I have are completely outsourced to a degree. Like, they got their own directors or managers and, a management team in place. And so it's all running. It's just at the moment, it just seems everything is collapsed all at the same time. Now, I'm aware that a lot of people are saying, oh, you shouldn't have so many businesses, etc. But that's what a private equity firm does. A private equity firm buys and gets their fingers in lots of different businesses, knowing that most are going to do rubbish and one's going to moon. So that's, most of these businesses are part of my private equity firm. So yeah, shit show bar, one basically. So, but here's the crazy thing, which I don't need the screen anymore. Here's my face. I had all sorts of weird private messages. And the result, and some of the messages were just like, I can't put into words. It was so the reaction from some people was probably the same as though I'd gone onto Facebook Live and got my willy out and started wanging it around. Like, that was how they reacted. It was like, oh my God, Siam, why are you airing all your dirty laundry on Facebook? Why are you blah, blah, blah? Why would you share some horrendous stuff like that? Like, are you not ashamed? Are you not like really embarrassed? And I'm like, I haven't replied to those people. But I don't see why there's so much taboo about sharing the bad times in business. Because all of these are business things. Now, other than the house move, I mean, the only real annoying thing, the only thing that I'm annoyed with is the fact that we have to move out of the house for 5 months, because there's these massive refurb going on in the house. because as you know, I'm renting, and so yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. So builders basically going to be all over the house. So we've got to move out for 5 months. That's the only thing that's my first crocodile. Everything else here, I'm like, yeah, I can, yeah, it's just fine. I'm playing a video game, and each level has its every character, each one is a video game, and at the moment, I'm at the boss level for each video game. So in this video game, the boss is eating my money at the tune of 30 grand a month. So that's the level I'm going to have to, I'm just doing cost cutting at the moment. Another one is flat. So this is another boss, and this boss is eating all of my customers. So I just look at everything like a video game, and then I just do, review, apply, or as my mantra, do, fail, learn, pivot. In fact, I've got a... Oh, no. Sorry, it's a mess down here. As you can probably see, some of my pictures fell off the wall. This is how good I am at handiwork stuff. I can't even put freaking posters up on the wall. But yeah. In fact, if I stand up, I'm going to make sure... I've got this cool thingy, majiggy. Oh, 1 second. Sorry, the wait is worth it. Check this bad boy out. Do you like it? I don't know if you can see it. It says do, fail, learn, pivot. So eventually when I get my walls up and running, I will put that on the wall. But yeah, you just got to do, fail, learn, pivot as fast as you possibly can, with no emotions, no regrets, ignore the stress to a degree. Saying ignore the stress is a bit of a shit comment. But yeah, just don't... Again, I was going to say, just don't let it get to you. But again, that's a shit comment as well. It's easier said than done. I'm not going to lie. I do have stress. But I think the way that we all deal with stress is just different. For me, I like a challenge. Anytime someone challenges me at something, or life challenges me, I'm like, right, game on, bitches. I'm going to have you. And so I go super aggressive whenever I'm challenged, like in a nice, cordial manner, if that makes sense. It's a bit like fighting. Okay, so I've done martial arts since I was a little boy. Because I'm half Thai, you're sort of like born into martial arts. Like you have to do Muay Thai kickboxing as a kid, and so I've been fighting all my life. Now, one of the things that you learn when doing martial arts is that anger is a killer. So if you ever get angry in a fight, you've lost. One, you've lost it up in the head, and you've lost the fight, because an angry fighter can't think straight, because you just get a cloud of red mist, and you're not thinking. You stop thinking, and fighting is a thinking sport. Believe it or not, it really is. Anyone that hasn't been in a fight probably can't attest this, but if you've been in a ring, like a controlled fight, so a competition, a boxing ring, or whatever, and you're doing 5-minute rounds or whatever, it's a thinking game. Yes, a lot of it is reactionary. Like if someone punches you, you're going to dodge or block it, but it is a thinking game. You're testing your opponent out. You're trying some combinations, like what I would always do in a fight, and it happens probably over the space of a minute or so, is I would always this is back in the day when I used to compete. I would throw out every single attack, and I would log up here how they reacted to it. So I don't know, just to be simple, I throw a right hook once or twice, and then I would log, okay, what is that person's movement to that right hook? Okay, they always duck every time I do a right hook. And then I'll do a left hook. Okay, and then before after a few, 30 seconds, or so, that every time you throw a hook, the person's going to duck. Okay, so you then have to compile a combo from that. You're like, okay, so you can lead with a hook, knowing that they're going to duck, but then you follow up with a knee. So then your combo is like, okay, hook, knee. And it doesn't need to be like a Street Fighter Tekken combo where you're like, ha, 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 ha. Like sometimes 2 to 3 move combos is all it needs. Hell, I kept it simple. 2 move combos just worked for me at least. So I'd throw a right kick or right, whatever. How do they do it? Would they always grab my leg? Okay, they always grab my leg if I kick and then you just go, right, okay, I'm going to do hook knee, and then if it works, you just keep on rinsing and repeating until you knock them out. Business is the same, okay? Business is identical. You're in a fight, and all of a sudden you're on the back, you're on the wire, not the wire, the rope. So what do? A lot of it will be reactionary. Just like someone's fighting, you're going to be like, trying to block or evade or run away. But eventually, once you sort of, at least duck and roll and, duck, dive, dodge, dip, dodge, and give yourself some space, you then need to think. So, yeah, I then just go super aggressive in business. And when I mean aggressive, not angry. So, I'm mixing all my analogies. Basically, when you're fighting, you need to be super aggressive, but not angry, okay? You need to be directed and aggressive. And it's the same with business. So now, my back is against the wall with some of the businesses here. And it's game on time, okay? So what am I going to do? I simply have to work harder. And I've also identified another reason why I've had a bit of a tumble. And you have to be really brutally honest with yourself, because a lot of the time it's self-sabotage. I would say 90% of the time, when your business fails or is struggling, it's your fault. Probably 100% of the time. No, 100% of the time it's your fault. But sometimes it's things that you do in your personal life which are affecting your business. And in my case, I've had to completely open my eyes up to my, as in be completely objective. Like, I'm an alien looking down at Siam Kid in Norwich right now. What is this Muppet doing? Oh, he's doing this, this, and this. No wonder some of this business is going down. And I'm going to give you a little guess. I'm just going to see. Can anyone guess in the chat box what I'm doing in my personal life, which is affecting all of my businesses right now? I know it's not airing my laundry in public. I don't give a shit if you know if I'm failing or winning or whatever. That's nothing. Any guesses? Peter said heroin. No, I don't take drugs. As in, that's another topic. I don't actually take drugs, but I would never take heroin. Just a side point. I'm going to share my screen, and I think we're going to have to talk about this on another live session, because I look at everything objectively, right? Remember, I look at everything like an alien. So if I'm an alien visiting Earth and I'm looking at all these stupid monkeys taking drugs, I would then think, okay, well, some drugs are good, some are bad. And then I would objectively look at drugs. So a few years ago, I looked into drugs. I spent a long time looking into drugs because I grew my life. In fact, this is how crazy it was. When my dad was, and also quite effective, when I was like 10 years old, I remember this almost word for word. My dad took me to a side and looked at me really seriously. And he wasn't that serious that often. He said, if I ever see you taking drugs, you're out of this house. I will disown you. I will never talk to you again. Never, ever take drugs. You'll ruin your life. And it was like, and this was brutal. Like, I was like a 10-year-old. I did nothing wrong, but I thought I was like in trouble. I felt like, oh, I'm so sorry, even though I hadn't taken any drugs. And guess what? For the rest of my life, I was a goody two-shoes. Never took any drugs. I've never even had a cigarette in my life. Never taken a spliff of weed or anything. And all my life, I was like, no, drugs are bad. And it's because you sort of inherit your parental thoughts and your parental, thoughts and beliefs on things. Yeah, I've never had cannabis either. And so I went through my whole life being a goody two-shoes. And then literally 2 or 3 years ago, I thought, wait a minute, why do I have this belief system about drugs? And then I started looking into it. And then when you look into, for example, the drug harm chart, you're going to find all sorts of things like this. So on the bottom axis, you have physical harm. And then you have the addiction on the y-axis. So just looking at this chart, you don't have to know anything about drugs. You can see straight away heroin is the worst drug on the planet. Not only does it cause the most harm, it's the most addictive. So guess what? An alien is going to be like, well, why on earth would you take heroin? Because it's going to hurt you. You're going to be addicted to it. And it costs shitloads of money. Where are the wins? There's no wins. And so then you look at, alcohol, isn't the alcohol and tobacco? Surely they should be Class A drugs as well. So yeah, do I take drugs? Yeah, I drink wine. In fact, I've got Courvoisier in this Tesla tequila bottle here. In fact, screw it, I'm going to drink alcohol live. Here we go. So yeah, so I do take drugs. I guess it's 5 p.m. somewhere. That's quite nice. But I don't take any of the bad drugs. But then across all of my research, I found that it is impossible to die from an overdose from weed and psilocybin, so magic mushrooms. You literally cannot die from an overdose with weed and magic mushrooms. Because then that rabbit hole takes you down to the LD50, the lethal dose 50. Look into it. But basically, I worked out that in order to die from a spliff or from weed, you'd need to basically inhale 15,000 spliffs in a 10-minute period. It's just not going to happen. So I'm a big fan of microdosing magic mushrooms. I'm a massive fan of microdosing. It's only nootropics that I've ever found to work. Honestly, and I've been split testing nootropics for years now. I've taken everything, like as in nootropics wise, not like hard bloody methadone or whatever. The only thing that I've actually felt that has been as close to Limitless, like that movie where you have real noticeable cognitive and acuity uplifts, is when you do the Stamets protocol. And the Stamets protocol, in fact, all I'm going to say is just check out Paul Stamets' interview on Joe Rogan. That's all you need to know. Right. What the hell was I talking about? I can't remember. I've gone off on one. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm just looking at the comments. I was asking, what am I doing in my personal life which is affecting my businesses? Peter threw me with the heroin comment. Too much time in crypto? No. Stuart got it spot on though. Late night gaming. Late night gaming is the only thing I've done differently in 2021 to everything else. And when I say late night gaming, you remember I'm quite obsessive about things. So I've created this thing called Geek Club. And so these are basically all me. There's lots of memes here. And we play Age of Empires every night. Well, I do. Not everyone does. And so every night since the 1st of February, I've been playing Age of Empires for a good 3 or 4 hours, to the point, look at this. This is really bad. I'm Honey Badger. Total. So I started playing Age of Empires 2 online on the 1st of February. And I've clocked up 445 hours. It's not good, is it? Just in the last 2 weeks, I spent 2 days playing it. It's just nuts. So basically from 10 p.m. onwards, I'm playing Age of Empires. And so not only is that affecting my energy levels, I'm going to bed very, very late. And whereas in the past, like all of 2020, I banned, from 2018 to 2020, pretty much, I banned myself from playing computer games. And then all of a sudden this year, I was like, oh, I'm bored. Let's get back into gaming. And then that's what's happened. So this is me taking a very honest look at myself. And all I implore is that you, whoever's listening, take a massive look into yourself and stop bullshitting yourself. Because that's what happens. Everything, all the deficits in your life are no doubt from you bullshitting yourself about something. It really is. Same in my life. The reason my businesses are failing at the moment, I wouldn't say failing, that's over dramatic. The reason I have temporary cash flow issues at the moment in my businesses is because I guess one of the contributing factors, not all of it, contributing factors is probably late night gaming. Now I've got probably 4. I've got 4 businesses that do online learning to a degree. And they've all flatlined as well. Now, with some of these, it's nothing to do with my gaming. Like 2 of the businesses I have nothing to do with. Like I don't do the day-to-day, yet they've flatlined as well. So I know for a fact Age of Empires is not hurting In fact, I'm not even sharing my screen. Sorry. Here we go. Over here, Age of Empires. Good old Steam. It shows you 445 hours. Yeah, so with the business I'm not connected to, they've also flatlined as well. And the reason being is that I'm seeing this trend. Again, this is across 4 different online learning businesses here. And the trend that I've seen is that 2020 was huge. Like, some of these businesses had epic years because what happened? We had lockdown. Everyone was bored. Everyone's like, I need to learn a new skill. So online learning is in. Everyone did it. And so it was great. 2020 was a great year for me, business-wise, I guess, to a degree. But now everyone's sick to death of Zoom calls and online learning. And now the sun's out somewhat and we're allowed out-ish. Everyone's like, man, I can't be asked. And so I'm looking at the video engagement and people just aren't watching videos anymore. So how long will this last? Don't know. I don't know. So yeah. Yeah. So Steve Woody said, that's crazy. I've stopped gaming this year, not streaming at the moment, and business is flying as a result. Yeah, I know. Like, I've got some side businesses that I'm planning on doing. Like, I've got a big business that I'm going to be launching over the next couple of years. Like a proper big business. Like I can't get it launched without raising £5 million. So that's the sort of scale. Imagine what I could have done with 445 hours, like working on the pitch deck, working on the numbers, recruiting my team in preparation for raising finances. Like, these are the things I haven't done yet. I haven't written out the business plan which these investors will want to see. I haven't done any of the bullshit cash flow forecasting. I'm not a fan of cash flow forecasting spreadsheets, but again, I haven't done that because of freaking Age of Empires. Oh, Johnny, hey mate, are you on tonight? Sorry, I'm seeing some of the Geek Club members here. I'll be on at 10. So Elbin said, thanks Simon, I had to hear this. Yeah, I hope it does help. Jesus, Steve, 10,000 hours in Dota 2 now. Yeah, but since when? Like, I probably got that in some games since the age of 15. So yeah, yeah, Peter, you're spot on. The easiest people to bullshit are ourselves. It's great. Like I used to do a lot of networking, like business networking, and you go to the business and how's business, and everyone goes, oh yeah, it's fine. Well, yeah, it's great. And people always bullshit. Always. I found this. I did BNI, I did 4 networking, I did every business thing you could think of. I did it. And like, very rarely do you meet people that are just brutally straight with you. And that's like my pledge to people these days. I will just always be brutally honest with people. And it catches people off guard. And sometimes, it opens, like, what I found is it's led to some of the best, deepest conversations I've had in recent times. Because when you have pure, candid openness, it tends to instill candidness and openness with the person you're talking to. Like, I had a really interesting chat with someone who I thought was absolutely killing it. I thought this person was making probably £1 million profit a year. I then, was like, hey, how's it going, mate? I was like, oh, mate, it's a clusterfuck over here. And it took him about 5 minutes because I sort of went into all my errors and mishaps at the moment. And then the shroud, the guru shroud just disappeared. And this guy was just like, you know what? Ignoring my current Facebook ad that's currently stalking you, because we were talking about this Facebook ad that keeps stalking me. I was like, yeah, same problem. And, profitability is shot to the, just disappeared. So I think more people are struggling than you think. Just no point bullshitting about it. I mean, yeah, Shadow Man. Some people not genuine enough to be honest. Yeah. So what are your thoughts? I mean, like, in fact, yeah, it's a good question. Should you air your laundry like that? I don't call it laundry. Like, is it taboo? I know it is taboo, but why is it? What am I missing here? Should I not be sharing enough? For example, I've got a major investor in one of my businesses, and he wasn't too happy about me sharing that sort of stuff. I understand why, but Yeah. So I'm just reading the comments here. Aaron Redbrick, imagine going to a meeting and someone asks, how's business? And for that moment, you just be honest and say, absolute shit. That's what I do, mate. Yeah. Try it. Try unwavering openness. It's quite liberating because these days I don't give a shit about what people think of me now. I guess the people I really do care about are my investors and my students, and obviously my family. But that is obviously, your significant other, your wife, obviously, or your husband. Obviously, you care what they think. But like in general, other than immediate family, like it's my students because I want to make sure they make money from the crypto markets and from business. So the whappers and my realistic traders, I really care a lot about them. And obviously the investors in some of my businesses, I really care about them. For example, like I've got a business which has royally gone, that hasn't done well at all, and it's got investors in. Now, from a legal standpoint, I have no obligations. I could just wind down the company, shut it down, and go, learn, that was an error. Whoops. But that would be the shit thing to do. I could literally just run off into the dust right now and go, that business didn't work. But then that would be leaving a bunch of investors with no money. So, and I always think you should do the right thing. So, although legally I don't owe anyone any money, the right thing is to persevere or at least pivot and then get the pivot working or whatever. So the investors, at least at the very minimum, get their money back. Although it would have been over a longer time frame than they expected, but at least they don't lose money. That's the minimum. But then you should go over and ahead, and like one of the things I want to do is work out. Okay, Mr. or Mrs. Investor, you've been with me for 5 years. You've just got your money back. I know that's just the minimum. Now I'm going to work on trying to, assuming you would have made 10% a year. How much is that? That's what we're going to aim for. So that's what I think you should do in business. Yeah. Will it detriment personal finances? Yeah, it will. Will it detriment the business, in profitability? Yeah, it will. But I think you should just do the right thing. Nice. Peter, takes a lot to sit in a live stream in a dressing gown. Yeah, I just can't be asked to get changed today. So I'm just going to stay in my underwear and dressing gown all day. I actually, for this live stream, had to put a t-shirt on because I actually didn't have a t-shirt. I thought you didn't want to see my chest. So, right. Shadowman. Okay, so random question. Why was it so easy for Bitcoin to go up last year, yet now it's difficult to understand what is really going on? Everyone buying, but not going up in price. It's just the whales. So what happens is if you, we've got billions, like tens, I would say hundreds of billions of dollars flowing into crypto now. And a lot of it is with whales. Now, a whale is anyone from a billionaire / family office, a hedge fund, a mutual fund, a tracker fund, and ETFs, like exchange traded. Basically, there's billions flowing into tiny doors. Now, you don't, when you've got billions like this, you also have the ability to manipulate the markets and move it. So if I was a multi-billionaire that was on the sidelines and just found out about Bitcoin, and I was like, oh shit, I've missed out on 2 million% ROI. I'm missing out on 200% CAGR every year, compound annual growth rate. I'll be like, okay, I need to get in. But these billionaires are clever. They're not just going to go and buy at market. They're not going to be like, right, Bitcoin's 60K. Yeah, sounds right. Plow and go all in. I'm going to put $5 billion in Bitcoin at 60K or whatever. And if these people, they're like, okay, I want a discount. I want to get in. So what they tend to do is they go to their bank, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and go, hey, I want $5 billion in Bitcoin, but I don't want to get in. I want a discount. I want to get in at 40K or 30K. And so the bankers then go, okay, so we'll try and fill you in at, call it 35K. And their mandate will be to buy $5 billion of Bitcoin for their clients at no more than $35,000 of Bitcoin. So that's their benchmark. But then these traders know, okay, well, where's the profit in us? So any Bitcoin they buy below $35,000 is pure profit for them. So what do the banks go and do? They go and dump the market. They dump the market, buy in at low. They make not only do they make the commission from the trade, but so there's all sorts of stuff like that going on at the moment. But this is going to be short-lived. It's a short-lived drop. Although Twitter and YouTube are now saying Bitcoin to $10,000. Yeah, right. Aaron, yeah, so I'm using this thing called Restream where it's compiling all of the comments across the board. So from Facebook and YouTube. Jackal Creative, what's happening to Float? I aim to visit again. Yeah, Float, we're moving into a new venue. So we have to move out from our existing venue very quickly, and we're still looking for a venue. I've put in an application to a venue, but I just have to wait for the landlord to say yes or no. But yeah, we're still here. We haven't shut down. In fact, we're running a cryotherapy session offer at the moment. So anyway. Peter, any plans to let us minions on Zoom to ask you questions directly? I don't know what you mean. I mean, you are asking me a question directly right now. So I'm not sure what you mean by that. But I will have to call this a day. It's been an hour and a half, and I've got a 2-hour live session at 2:00 for my traders. So, but as I said, ask in person and on video. What I said a few weeks back is that I'm going to be petering off these live sessions over a period of time, because really what I want to get it down to is doing live sessions for just my whappers, because I'm putting out so these I'll be doing live sessions just for the whappers on Zoom eventually, but I'm just I don't want to let you all go cold turkey, because I've gone from like every day to now probably twice a week, and then I'm going to phase that out. So yeah, just join the WAP. It's like 300. It's 82p per day. That's how cheap it is. It's £300 a year, 82p a day. And for 82p a day, you get access to shitloads of videos and access to the WAP group, and cool. Right, gotta love you and leave you. I need some breakfast, and I will see you soon. I hope today helped. It was a bit off topic, but I hope it helped. See ya. Bye.